Playboy, you made that beat.
Hey, it's E Tally with another episode. I am with one of the Bernie standouts of the Greyhounds. Go ahead and introduce yourself, young man.
My name's Nic Hernandez. I'm a senior at Boerne, and I play guard for the Greyhounds.
Which is awesome. So you're just playing one sport this year, not two,
Yes, sir. Just one sport.
but you have played multiple sports in the past, right?
Yeah, back in middle school, I used to do track, but once I got to high school, I really started focusing on basketball and trying to zero in my.
Okay. The only reason I asked that question is I know like a lot of 4As and 3As. I know you prior once were 4A.
Yeah,
You guys
yeah,
played multiple sports. That's why I asked that. So
yeah,
before I ask you any questions, I know this is kind of off. No, look, again, making it fun. You
yeah.
enjoying yourself. I don't want you to be, nervous or anything. But I do want to ask a question I didn't send you. Um, what do you think about you guys moving from 4A to 5A? Good
I
thing,
definitely
bad
think
thing, or
it's
indifferent?
it's definitely going to be a challenge this year for sure. We're used to a smaller district where we wouldn't have to prepare so much so early in the season, but I think a lot of the guys this year are ready for a challenge. We used to kind of coast through the season, and once we got to playoffs, that's where we really started to have to amp things up. But especially with our district this year, I mean, it's so tough that we're gonna have to be prepared from day one. So I definitely think that we're ready for that challenge.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the question. Yeah, I appreciate you answering that question what you did. Again, we don't want to create no bulletin board material for anybody, but I did
Yeah,
just want to have your insight of in reference to how you guys think and how you guys seeing yourselves as far as going 5A now. And you are in one of the toughest districts, by the way. I will say that, and that's why I want to bring a little light to you guys. So, with you being one of the leaders, and as far as I know, you're probably one of the guys that they're going to look to score a lot. What
yeah.
are some of the things that you're going to have to do to contribute to you guys winning in that tough district you're having or you're
Oh,
in?
it's definitely the defensive energy. I'm kind of the head of the snake this year as far as defense goes. But another big thing is also the experience and the leadership. Our team is relatively speaking still pretty young. We got two starters that are only sophomores. And I remember when I was a sophomore on varsity, I always looked up to the seniors, the older guys for guidance. So it's just kind of being there for them whenever they need something. Obviously they haven't been through the struggles yet. So just, whenever they're in need of help, they can just come to me, that kind of thing.
Okay, because it's and again, making it comfortable for you. It's going to be a difference for those guys because they haven't been and haven't seen the struggles and the fights and the battles you guys have because you guys are, prior to you, you're battle tested. You guys were making the playoffs every year
Yeah.
and having deep runs and
Yeah,
and
for
you know
sure.
going to the Alamo Dome over here, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, we got a little taste of it last year. We didn't get to go into the playoffs as deep as we wanted to, but they got a taste of what it's like, and I think this year they'll be well ready for 5A. We played a really good Stafford team last year in the area round, and that was a tough test for us, but I think that gave them a little taste of what it's like to have to go out there and play in a tough environment.
Okay. Off the court, how do you balance your because you already got basketball is not a distraction, but one of the things that keep you occupied. But off the court, how do you balance your academic life and your home life, I guess you can say, or just whatever you have going on? How do you balance that outside of school?
It's definitely tough. There's a lot of late nights, especially with homework and all that, trying to get all that done. It can be a struggle sometimes. You come home from practice, you're real tired. Coach just ran us, and then we had to go lift weights on top of a hard practice. and you come home and you realize you still got to do all your homework. So, it's definitely tough, but, everything requires sacrifice, and, it's well worth it, those late nights.
Who's your basketball role model and why?
I definitely say my role model is my AAU coach, Coach Justin Monroe. I don't know if you know him, if you ever met him before, but I've known him for a really long time. We've been training together, and he started up his AAU team a couple years back, and I've been playing with him. But definitely a lot of credit goes out to him. My game wouldn't be where it is today without him, for sure.
Give your AAU program a shout out then.
Yeah, it's the San Antonio Suns. You got teams from, I believe, second grade all the way up to 17U. And
All right, all right. That's the San Antonio Sun. Shout out. Give your coach a name one more time.
Justin Monroe. And
Justin
he's
Monroe,
also,
Coach Monroe. Shout out
yes,
to you. You're
sir.
doing a great job because we have a great young man here. And again, for him to use you as his role model, you're doing something right over there, Coach Monroe. Great job. Give me a memorable moment that you had while you were playing high school basketball. I don't want to go too far back. Let's go high school because you're a senior now, so you had
Yeah.
4 good years. Give me one of your most memorable moments.
As far as high school basketball goes, I definitely think my most memorable moment was, or memory was, we went to state sophomore year, and we didn't even win that game. We lost to a real good Washington team out of Houston, but just the journey to get there, it really stuck with me. That was a great group of guys, and it really taught me the grind of, what it takes to get there.
All right. Give me a memorable moment in your AAU side.
Ooh, I definitely think, when was it? We went up to Baltimore back in May, and our assistant coach had set up something with Team Thrill, who'd won the Under Armour title last year. And so we went up there. We played Thrill. We played Kyle Lowry's team. We played another team on the 3SSB circuit. And, it was memorable for a lot of reasons off the court, but on the court, it was definitely a wake up call, I guess you could say, because, around here, you think you're one of the best, and then you go up and you play some of the best in the country. You realize, man, we got to get back in the lab. We got to keep grinding because, we might be the best around here, but there's other people outside of us, outside of Texas, that we still got to compete against at the end of the day.
Well, that's a great attitude, man. I like to hear that. I like to hear that from the actual players versus the coaches because we all say that as coaches. As soon as we,
Yeah,
get a hard loss or, some way we didn't win, we all
yeah,
say that. I got to get back to the grind and we got to work harder, yada yada. So for me to hear you say that, you're very mature and again, the Bernie Greyhounds have a great player here, and that's Mr. Hernandez, and you're doing a good job so far with the interview, man. Thank you.
thank you.
All right, give me one of your pregame rituals. What do you do prior to the game, the warm up? What is something that you do all the time?
Well, as far as high school basketball is concerned, my pregame rituals honestly aren't anything special. The whole team will get together. We're in the locker room listening to music, and then we go out and we stretch and we roll together. But I think the thing that makes that so special is that whatever we're doing it together. It's not one individual out there stretching or rolling by himself. It's the whole team. So, whatever the whole team decides to do, everybody's going to go do it. And I think that's really special because a lot of teams, they got the star player that goes out there and they think they're better than everybody else, and they can go out and do their own thing. But, no matter how big or how small, we're always doing everything together. So I just think that's great.
Okay. Staying motivated and overcoming obstacles. I think you guys got a big obstacle in front of you. You're
Yeah,
going
for
from
sure.
4A to 5A. So how are you keeping yourself leveled? And how do you, even all the obstacles before this, how do you keep yourself level headed, focused, and ready or willing to take on the adversity?
I definitely like to take it one day at a time. I try not to, obviously with the hard schedule this year, it can be daunting to look ahead and see, we got to play Vets twice, we got to play Wagner twice. we got to play champion for the first time. So I just try to take it one day at a time. And, when we get to the game, if we're playing a tough team, if we're not playing well on offense, I definitely try to get it started on defense, bringing the energy, trying to get the guys amped up, maybe get a steal or a deflection or a loose ball, something like that. Just something to get them bought into the game. So,
Okay. So as far as your leadership style, what type of leader are you? Are you a loud or are you a vocal leader that's rah, rah, rah? Or are you just a guy like lead by example? And how do you kind of get your guys to follow you, knowing that you are
I'd
going to be one of
say
the leaders this year?
Before this year, I was definitely more of a leader by example. But this off season, our coach he sat me down, he talked to me, and he was challenging me. He was like, we need a vocal leader this year. We need somebody to step up, and I think you're the person for that task. So I've definitely been trying to be more loud, make my voice more heard, and it's not necessarily you know bringing guys down when they make mistakes, things like that. But it's if they make a mistake, I'm trying to tell them to keep their head held high. We got a lot of time to prepare, so we can't get beat up over one little mistake, that kind of thing.
I like that. I like that answer. As far as what are your goals or aspirations past high school basketball? Do you have any to play next level? And then if you do, what are some of the colleges that you're looking at?
Yeah, for sure. It's kind of a sad thing. I had a lot of interest from small D1s and D2s start the summer, but I got injured and unfortunately lost a lot of interest from them. But
Sorry
I
to hear
try to
that.
look at it as yeah, it was tough, but I try not to look at it as a what if or an excuse. I try to look at it in the positive, like, all right, I can turn this around. I can channel all that lost opportunity into motivation this season to play just that much harder, and try to get it back.
So do you think as far as do you see yourself trying to land a TLU or a Shriner or anything like that, or are you just kind of trying to see how we get past our high school first
I
with
definitely
having
want
all
to
the
take it,
injuries?
one day at a time right now. I'm
Okay.
trying to stay focused on the school season. I figure if I take it one day at a time, just those small little victories here and there, then eventually those will add up to something great. So,
Well, whatever help you need from us, you just let me know. Um, Again, you got my information, so
sure.
whatever help you guys need in reference to if it is a school that catches interest or something that you catch interest on, by all means, and you're having like I think you're going to have a great season. Just let me know, and I'll make sure I
Sure.
kind of bridge that gap for you and get you in touch with the right people. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Because again, we never want to hear about a player having an injury and then I for me, I know how emotionally it can become something to where as though it's a hurdle, an
Yeah.
obstacle that we
Yeah.
have to overcome and make sure we do it to where as though we start putting that doubt in our head. Am I that good? And we forget, yes, you are that good. I'll be the first one to tell you, not even seeing you play, but to know again, your coach and your community is behind you and whatever you're doing. And again, I think you can definitely overcome it and play basketball next level. All right.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
All right, team chemistry. We all know how important that is, and that's one of the things that everybody get behind. What are some of the things that you guys are doing to make sure that team chemistry and that bond is there?
We're definitely hanging out a lot more this season. That was one of the things that our coach was harping on last year was, we got a lot of young guys and we're gonna have them around for a long while. They're gonna be instrumental to our team. So, the older guys, me and a couple of the other seniors, he told us, you gotta hang around with them. You gotta teach them how to act, how to be when they're around certain people, because we're gonna need them in the future. So we can't have them making mistakes that might hinder our chances at doing something great.
Okay. What advice would you give a younger player that's maybe seventh or eighth grade? Because I feel that's the important part of getting ready for high school, just getting their
Yeah.
mind right that they're going to start playing. What advice would you give them as a senior to let them know, be prepared for?
No, I definitely say, make sure you're taking care of everything in the classroom before you get to the court. We're student athletes. Student comes first for a reason. We got to get stuff done there before we can even get out onto the court. But I'd also definitely say don't take anything for granted. I remember walking in first day as a freshman, thinking, man, I still got 4 years of high school ahead of me, and now I look back as a senior and time flies. So wherever you are, whatever spot on your journey you're in, whether you're, the star of the team or you're a bench warmer, I say just don't take anything for granted because it's gone in a glimpse.
That's so true. You're so absolutely right. Again, this platform I've created already, I can't even fathom already. We're at year 3 though. So
Yeah.
you're definitely right what you're talking about. All right, my last question before we go to rapid fire. Um, how do you stay motivated and focused on your academic goals while pursuing your passion for basketball?
Again, it's just recognizing that I got to take care of the academics before I can get onto the court. Our coach talks a lot about no pass, no play. If you can't make the grades, then you can't be on our team. So I mean, that's definitely a motivating factor in itself. If your coach is telling you, well, if you can't take care of what you're doing on the academic side, you can't play for me. That's enough motivation for me, to get my work done on time, stay focused. So
Hey, there you go. That's you keep it very simple and straightforward. All right, here we go.
yeah.
Rapid fire. All right. I'm gonna just say some things. You just tell me which one you like better.
All right.
Dogs or cats?
Ooh, dogs.
Eagles versus the Cowboys.
Cowboys for sure.
Oh, come on. All right. I'll give you a pass on that one.
Oh, are you an
Spurs
Eagles
versus the
fan?
Mavericks. Huh?
You an Eagles fan?
Yes, I'm an Eagles fan all the way. I gotta be.
Oh,
Gotta
come on
be.
now. Oh, come
Come on,
on.
come on now. Don't worry. Don't worry. We're gonna get one eventually. We'll get one eventually. Because lately we've been splitting the seasons, and right now y'all have a winning record. Your quarterback has a winning record versus the Eagles. So we're gonna fix that this year, okay?
Oh, come on now.
All right, let's get back on topic. Get back on topic.
All right, yeah.
Spurs or the Mavericks?
Spurs.
All right. Pizza or calzone?
Ooh, I'm gonna say pizza.
Good choice. Good choice. Hot dogs or hamburgers?
Hamburgers all the way.
Are we talking wings? Hot or barbecue?
Hot.
Okay. And did you? I know you did. I gotta still ask you. Did you follow the Bernie team for the Little League World Series?
Yeah, of course I did. I was just like
And how
everybody
proud
else.
are you of those? Even though they didn't win this, which I didn't understand the format because they only had one loss through the whole thing, and they got bumped to the third place game. Don't
Yeah.
understand what happened. I thought it was double elimination. But anyway, how proud are you? Let them know how proud you are.
Oh man, I'm very proud of them, to go out there to represent, not just Boerne High School, but the whole town of Boerne on a national stage. That's something great. And I'm
It was,
definitely
right?
proud of those guys.
It was. To see them do that. And then, again, that's to represent not just, Bernie itself. And that's very, very proud to be, but just Texas alone. That's what I
Yeah.
was just super excited about to know I'm going to run into a few of those kids as I, keep doing what I'm doing. And they'll let me know the stories behind that, going all the way to Pennsylvania and playing on that stage that the whole
Yeah.
world could see. It was just very exciting. So I think
Yeah.
they did a tremendous job.
Yeah, I definitely feel like they were very deserving that opportunity. It was a great group of guys.
They are. They are. Well, look, I plan on coming through one of your practices, I believe, this week coming up. And I look forward to just watching you guys and getting some good film on you. And again, I want to say thank you for giving me this opportunity because, again, man, I support you and all the guys out there and just doing what y'all doing. I think y'all have a huge test in front of you, but I definitely know your squad you have right now will definitely be able to overcome and just deal with that adversity you guys about to see. And I just wish you guys the best of luck.
Thank you, thank you. I'm very grateful for this opportunity.
Playboy, you made that beat.